Kondosan.
Once upon a time, far away from the city, Mother Goat and her 7 kids lived happily in a farm in the forest. That year was Dog's turn to be president. He was responsible for the farm's security. From time to time, things disappeared in the farm. Everyone knew it was Dog's fault, but nobody dared to say anything because they were scared of his bark and big teeth. Unwillingly, the animals handed over management to Dog with a ceremony. One night, Mother Goat was awoken by screams, and she immediately went outside to see what was going on.
What's going on?
Bad wolf kidnapped all the chicks.
But how did this happen?
The next morning, under Dog's leadership, they searched for the chicks in vain. It seemed as if the poor chicks had vanished into thin air. All farm animals looked for the chicks until late in the evening. But they came back to the farm empty-handed. Mother Chicken was sobbing. All farm animals went to bed early due to exhaustion. After they fell asleep, Dog sneaked out of his kennel and opened the farm gates. In the darkness, Big Bad Wolf turned up.
Where have you been? I've been waiting for hours.
I had to make sure everyone was asleep. You think it's so easy to fool everyone in such a big farm?
Fine, cut it short.
What do you want this time?
The goat kids.
They cost a lot more.
The Big Bad Wolf gave all he had in his wallet to Dog.
There we go.
The wolf stealthily approached the house where Mother Goat and the kids lived. The bad wolf went directly to Little Goat's room and began putting them in the sack. The startled goat kids huddled quickly and started screaming as their mother had taught them to do in such an emergency. Wolf was shocked, but wasn't about to give up on his prey. He leaped out of the window with the sack on his back and fled. Mother Goat, who had woken up due to her kids' screams, understood what happened and immediately ran after Wolf.
Help! He stole my children! Help!
Mother Goat, along with Cat and Rooster, began to tail Wolf. Not long after, Wolf disappeared in the darkness of night. Mother Goat sat on a rock and started crying desperately. She heard her baby's screams, but unfortunately, she couldn't reach them. Just then, they heard wing flaps above them. Mr. Owl could see Wolf thanks to his night vision. They followed Owl to Bad Wolf's den.
We should come up with a plan first. Mr. Owl is faster than us. So while we distract the wolf, he can fly back to the farm and get help. We can all attack and beat the wolf.
Owl flew back to the farm. Mother Goat, Rooster and Cat approached the house window and they saw Wolf and Dog shaking hands.
Now everything makes sense.
Meanwhile, the little goats tried to make sense of the situation. The youngest ones were so afraid they began to cry.
I have an idea. Listen to me.
The little goats kept whispering and giggling among themselves. After their talk, one of them knocked on the locked door.
Hey, Bad Wolf, look over here.
What? What do you want, you scoundrels?
We have to go to the toilet.
Toilet? You can hold it in. Be patient. I'm taking you to the market to sell you all.
Suit yourself, Bad Wolf. There are 7 of us. Think of all the mess we're gonna make.
Wolf unlocked the door, and they took the kids to the tree across the house in a single file. In the meantime, Mother Goat saw what was happening.
Come on, do what you have to do, but be quick.
Not with you looking at us.
Fine, fine. Be quick.
As soon as they turned around, one of the kids rammed Wolf and the other rammed Dog so hard that they were startled. The other kids began to butt the 2 accomplices.
There's my babies. Come on, it's our turn now.
Cat leaped out of the tree where he had been hiding and lunged at Wolf and scratched him. Rooster pecked at Dog's head with all his strength. The last hit came from Mother Goat with a mighty headbutt that sent both Wolf and Dog all over the ground. Rooster and Mother Goat were so happy to be reunited with their children. Rooster took his chicks under his wing to warm them up. Mother Goat hugged her kids and kissed each and every one of them. Mother Goat told the animals everything. Everyone learned a lesson from it. From now on, the president of the farm was to be selected instead of taking turns. There would also be a farm council in which the farm animals would be able to make sure the president is doing a good job. They also decided to kick Dog out of the farm. Mother Goat was elected as the president because of her courage.
KONDOSAN.
Once upon a time, in a small house there lived a young married couple. They were a very happy couple and were expecting a baby. I know it's important for our baby to be healthy, but I do hope we have a daughter, my love.
Yes, I would love to have a daughter too. God willing, we'll have a daughter that will look like you.
The day of the birth was getting closer, and the young mother excitedly awaited the birth of her baby. Every day the mother would look out the window and over the high wall and admire her neighbor's garden filled with flowers and fruits. One day she noticed a yellow-leaf plant that she had never seen before. I wonder what the name of that plant is. It smells wonderful. I'm sure it tastes amazing too. I have to eat that plant. I will go straight to my neighbor and ask her. Without wasting any time, the young mother left the house. But she had no idea that her next-door neighbor was a cruel witch. She knocked on the door, unaware of the danger that awaited her. Ooh. Hello, neighbor. The yellow plant in your garden smells amazing. I'm pregnant and really craving for it. Is it an edible plant?
Of course. I can give you a little. It tastes incredible and it's really good for humans.
Then it'll be good for my baby too.
Of course, dear neighbour. Especially for expecting mothers. But remember, because it's so valuable, you may only take one.
Everything is going just as I planned. The young woman finished eating the piece she had taken as soon as she got home, but she wanted to eat more.
Bring me more. If I don't eat it, I can't have this baby.
Don't worry. I'll do everything I can to bring you more of that yellow plant.
As night fell and it got dark, the helpless husband climbed over the tall wall and took the plant that his wife wanted. This went on for some time. Every night, the young man secretly entered the garden, but he was uneasy about entering his neighbor's garden without permission. The bad witch had actually grown this plant to set up a trap to them. She knew that her neighbor was expecting a baby and that she would definitely crave for this with its smell. She had her eye on the baby for a long time. She was going to take the baby one way or another. One evening, as the man entered the garden again, the witch caught him red-handed. She now had the appearance of a witch. She was very ugly and was extremely scary-looking. The poor man was frightened.
Please forgive me. My wife is pregnant and she can't stop eating this plant. I was forced to do this because you said she could only take one. I know this is wrong, but if she doesn't eat it, I'm afraid that my wife will die. I'm in a very tough situation.
I'll accept your apology only with one condition. You must give me the baby that is to be born. If not, I'll destroy all of you. The man had to accept this condition. When the time of the birth arrived, a beautiful baby girl was born. The witch went to their house immediately. Her name shall be Rapunzel. You shall raise her until she turns 1. In exactly 1 year, I will come and take her from you. The helpless couple accepted. When Rapunzel turned 1, the witch came and took the crying baby away from her mother and father and locked up the baby in a tower in the middle of the forest. She was going to raise the baby there. Many years passed. Rapunzel was now a beautiful young girl. As she had never cut her hair, it was several meters long. Her hair was golden blonde. She had deep green eyes. Whenever the witch went to the tower, she would call out to her. "My dear blonde-haired girl, I'm here. Let your hair down." Rapunzel would throw her long braid down, and the witch would climb up to the tower using her hair. Rapunzel thought that the witch was her mother. As she had never seen anyone else other than the witch until now, Rapunzel thought that she and her mother were the only ones in this world. She had a wonderful voice. She sang all day long until nightfall. Her voice echoed across the forest, and all the birds would fly to the window to listen to her. Birds were her only friends. One day, a prince was wandering around the forest. When he heard Rapunzel singing, he wondered where this marvelous sound was coming from. As he followed the direction of the sound, he approached the tower and realized the voice was coming from there.
I must meet the girl with this amazing voice. I wonder how I can go up this tower.
As he desperately walked round and round the tower, he suddenly saw a witch calling to the top of the tower. He hid behind a tree at once and watched. "My dear blonde-haired girl, I'm here. Let your hair down." Rapunzel let down her braided hair, and the witch climbed up to the tower.
I found how to go up the tower.
Having waited for the witch to leave, the prince now called out to the tower, impersonating the voice of the witch.
My girl, please let down your beautiful blonde hair again. I forgot something up there.
I'm letting it down right away, Mother.
With one swift move, she let down her hair again. The prince climbed up the tower using her hair and met Rapunzel. It was the first time in her life that the beautiful girl was seeing another person.
Ah! Who are you? Why Mother?
There's no need to be afraid. I'm the prince of this country. Your wonderful voice brought me here. To come up here, I had to impersonate your mother's voice.
Rapunzel, who at first was very frightened, slowly realized that he wasn't a bad person. The prince was already charmed by her beauty.
Ooh.
Days and months passed by. The prince was coming to the tower every day. When they spent time together, they didn't realize how fast the time passed. Then, he finally proposed to Rapunzel.
Rapunzel, I want to live with you for the rest of my life. Will you marry me?
Of course I'll marry you.
I must now return to the palace.
I will try and find a solution to get you out of here at once.
Rapunzel was very excited that she would finally see the outside world once she married the prince. She was so bored of living alone in the tower for all those years. He held Rapunzel's hair and headed down the tower. Unfortunately, the witch was there too and saw the prince. She immediately understood what was going on. She raged with anger. As Rapunzel was pulling her hair back up again, the witch held onto it and climbed up. She was so annoyed and furious.
What's going on? Who's that just left? I've been hiding you up here to protect you from evil, but you've been talking to strangers and making friends with them.
He's the prince of this country. He asked for my hand in marriage, and I accepted. I'm so happy, Mother. I was waiting for you to come and tell you all about it.
What? What nonsense is this? I'll show you.
The witch was so angry that with a pair of scissors she cut Rapunzel's long hair short as can be. And with her magic, she then sent her to a very faraway country. When the prince arrived at the tower the next day, he had no idea that the witch was waiting for him in the tower.
Hi, Rapunzel! I'm here! Let down your hair, please!
The witch let down the long braid that she had cut from Rapunzel's hair. When the prince reached the window of the tower, the witch was there to meet him. He was terrified the moment he saw her.
What a surprise, huh? You thought you were going to be able to take my girl away who I've hidden for years?
As the witch let go of the braid, the terrified prince found himself on the floor. He fell on top of the bushes, but since he hit his head, he was blinded. Rapunzel was ever present in the prince's mind. So mounted on his horse, he searched for her everywhere. He swore that even if he had to go to the end of the world, he would find her. He searched and searched and searched for a very long time. Finally, one day, he heard a song. The voice was familiar to him.
This is Rapunzel's voice. I finally found her.
Galloping on his horse, he headed straight towards the sweet voice. He came to the door of the house Rapunzel was staying in.
Rapunzel, I'm here. Open the door.
I can't believe it. Is it really you?
As Rapunzel opened the door, she cried when she saw the prince. She cried so much that her tears fell on the prince's face as he was kneeling. Her tears were miraculous, joyful tears. Suddenly, the blind prince opened his eyes. They hugged each other joyfully and celebrated this miracle. The prince was finally able to propose officially. They returned to the palace and started preparing for the wedding. Upon their return, Rapunzel and the prince looked for her real parents so they could share their news. They were incredibly happy to be reunited with their daughter after all these years. They had a beautiful wedding and they all lived happily ever after.